All right, so, let me just cue this up real quick. So my name's Monique Gaudette. I work over in OWL, so Online Worldwide Learning. We're also called the College of Graduate and Professional Studies. My job is the inbound marketing manager, so I manage everything that is coming in, and so my job is to go fish for people, so go provide content for them to find us valuable, see us as a resource, and come in to our school, and eventually become students. Like, that's one method that we use for marketing. So, just to kind of go over what we're going to go over in this talk. So, anyway, we're going to go over a quick, broad definition of content marketing. I'm going to show you a big picture sort of visually, because a lot of us are not necessarily word people, but a visual definition. Kind of go over content marketing best practices, where your audience is, what they're looking for, and a little bit more about SEO. And then some tactics for successful content marketing, and then just talking about doing it over and over and making a plan for that. I guess I can go a little bit more into social media because Louise isn't here. I tried to stay away from that. So let's see. I guess when you think about your role as a content creator, I like to start everything with what's your win? Are you, and we talked about this a little bit, are you trying to get people to enroll in the university? Are you trying to get them to participate in your club? Are you trying to drive awareness, like Maine Women's Writers? I mean, that's an amazing resource. You're not selling anyone, you're not trying to get anyone to join, but you're just raising awareness there. Are you engaging as a resource? Are you the registrar's office trying to just get students, provide value and let them know about dates and stuff like that? So I guess knowing where your goals are kind of will help you move through this. So I guess the best way to think about content marketing from a relationship and visibility perspective is that it can drive an increase in awareness of your organization or asset, which is a great start. So in a larger sense, it's about connecting with people in a general, broad focus area of people. So whether it's pulling people into your website or onto your Facebook page, it's about connecting people with your content. So not all of the people that you connect with will become your audience, but it's a good start to provide value there. So I have a lot of people share my content, especially on Facebook. So they're not necessarily my audience, but the people that they're sharing with are. And so then I get in front of those people, and that gets me a bigger audience. So providing good content gets it shared, gets me more views, which gets me more traffic back to my asset that I'm building. So I guess that's why it's really important to have really good content, obviously. You don't want to have junk. So we're going to focus on generating awareness through different types of content, including blogging and using SEO and engaging through social media. So this is that sort of slide that I was talking about. It's kind of fun to see things as a big picture and kind of know where you're going through there. So I guess mostly what we do a lot of is the content creation. So you're creating something and then you're pushing it out through sharing it, and then sharing it, you're also putting it out on social networks. Other people are sharing it, and so that's kind of a whole world there. Sort of the next level is to analyze what you've shared. So that pulls in the analytics and the search analytics of all right, so what are people engaging with? What are they looking at? What keywords are they coming in on? So that's kind of once you've done a bunch of content, then you can analyze what you've done with your Google Analytics, or there's other different tools that you can use. And then sort of that next level is starting to write towards those keywords that people are actually already coming in on, so that you can make better content for them, and that gets shared more, that gets, so it's a whole cycle. So sometimes it's kind of easier to see it as a visual. So I guess, and to your guys' point is don't get overwhelmed. The first thing to do, and I love that you guys came first, is that come up with a plan. So come up with your strategy. And a strategy does not include what you're gonna do. It's a strategy is where you're gonna go, like who you're going after, not necessarily how you're gonna do it through Facebook or through Twitter or what you're gonna say. Strategy is like an overall goal. So like your goal would be maybe to get likes, but your strategy is that you need to get likes, and your tactics are, all right, we're gonna post on Twitter, we're gonna push to our blog or whatever. So it is tempting to just like throw things out there and see what sticks, but really, it's really good to begin with the end in mind, which is good when designing websites too. I used to do that. So yeah, I would just say like sit down for an hour, maybe with your team, maybe by yourself, and just come up with a plan of attack of like where you'd like to go, what you'd like to see. So a couple of things, sort of like successful content marketing. Where are your people? Where are your people commenting online? What are they commenting on? Do they like to engage like live? Do they like to attend your webinars? Or are they more like do they read industry white papers and they share those maybe on Facebook or on LinkedIn? Are they more interactive people, or are they more sort of asynchronous?
Yes.
Like so the online college, we have a lot of asynchronous people. So they are busy all day long. They work 40 hours a week. They have kids. They have. But so they are more of an asynchronous people rather than having time to attend a webinar and chat in their questions and stuff like that. We get them more that they download that webinar and watch it, and then they get in touch with our enrollment counselors if they have any questions. So just having that content there, like a webinar is a good example of having live content. You have people on the internet, I guess, is a webinar, and people chatting in their questions, and your enrollment counselors or whoever your resource is answering questions live, from these people that are listening online. But then you take that and you post it online as a resource, so it kind of does you double duty. So you can get your live people, you can get your asynchronous people. So that's where are they? You definitely want unique, high quality stuff. So you don't want to be retweeting is awesome. It's, and like tweeting out things that people have written, especially with awesome keywords, like our health informatics group is killing it on Twitter. But a lot of what they're doing is taking the titles from news stories and just copying and pasting the title into the tweet, sending out the link. So those are doing really well, but we're not really providing content there. We're just sort of providing a resource, which is fine. But we want to be the people that are providing that content, that are writing those stories, that other people are tweeting out so that they come back to our website or our blog or our resource. So unique is kind of a goal. Let's see. You also want to provide high quality stuff because the internet is big. I don't know if you know. But the chances of people coming and landing on our page are pretty narrow unless they are looking for it. So if they choose to search for your term, they come to your website or come to your Facebook page, and so they make all of these choices to come to you. Don't waste their time. Don't waste their time with stuff they already know, or that's not unique or not special, like not high quality. So you want to be doing well written, appealing, and that also is representative of UNE. So about things that the university could be proud of posting, not just like, look at my great shoes, like a lot of, industry specific stuff. And I guess the third thing is keep SEO in mind, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but search engine optimization. And that's what will get you found in those search engine results pages, your SCRPs. You want to have in your articles that you're writing a very clear structure. You want to have seeded through there, like your structure being like a header 1, a header 2. You want to have your paragraphs, and in your headers you want to have your keywords. And ideally, so I blog. So ideally, in my meta descriptions of my blog, I have a keyword, a target keyword that I go after in the blog. I also have that keyword in the header 1. I have it somewhere in the header 2, and I try to have it in that first paragraph so that it's like a triple whammy in there, so that if someone is searching for online graduate school, my title is Why UNE Online is the Best Online Graduate School. And then maybe that my subheadline is Online Graduate Schools, what do you look for? And then, my first paragraph is, the thing with looking for an online graduate school is, so you have it in 3 spots. So it's very clear what this whole article is about. And so that's what Google looks for. So anyway, you want to be reader friendly. So where is your audience? So you guys were here last time. Thank you. And we talked a lot about where your people are. So finding out where they are, addressing their pain points and stuff like that. So I guess part of being a resource is knowing where your people are and where they live in the online space, like what resonates with them there. Like my people, so we have the online college, we have a lot of different programs. We have education, we have public health, we have science prerequisites for health professions. So my people live in a lot of different spaces. Like my science prerequisites for health professions people, they live a lot. They're trying to become doctors, and so they live a lot on forums like Student Doctor Network. So they're on there, I need a class, what can I look for? And so we're on there. And so they click on us to come over and they take classes through there. So it's kind of knowing where your audience is too is important. So for public health, we go to a lot of industry events because those people are so passionate and they love being involved, and so they go to a lot of conferences. But I guess, you definitely want to be creating great content regardless of what channel you're going to. So if you're going to a show, make sure you're bringing value there, even if it's just adapters and mugs and something, fun to take away. The more value you create, the more you get shared, which gets you more eyeballs, which gets you into more public spaces, which gets you more links, which gets you more subscribers and more visitors, and it's a whole cycle. So anyway, so once you have a presence in the space where your audience has their eyeballs, you definitely have to continue working on being a valuable resource for them. Because of the internet, your audience is definitely more in control of how they consume their content. So, you definitely want to be relevant. It's harder and harder to get share of mind, I guess, nowadays. So marketing is shifting away from being advertising and pushing messages. It's really more coming toward a pull marketing. And if you look at sort of jobs online, a lot of companies are shifting from having advertising agencies to having content marketing agencies. And so we need to be pulling our people in with good content. So fishing around, pulling them in. So they're looking for stuff, and we're pulling them in with our content. We talked about that. So let's see. We talked about that. So a little bit more about SEO. So let's see. So now that you have a presence where your people are, so you know where they are, what kind of content should you create? So maybe you've decided to build like an infographic. Maybe that's going to be helpful for your people. Maybe you've, lined up yourself as a guest blogger on someone else's blog so that you create value for their blog, but in return, they link back to your asset. So ideally you want to be having your own asset and sewing into your own asset versus like having a Facebook account and sewing into someone else's asset, like Facebook. Like how we work anyway at UNE Online is that we have a blog and everything that we do drives to our blog. And then our blog actually either converts people to becoming students or they drive them over to the website, which gives them even more value and converts as our #1 converter of students. So how I use social media anyway is I make them work for me rather than me being their content provider. So it's difficult if you don't blog. I would highly consider you start, just because building someone else's asset it doesn't bring a whole lot of value in the long run. If you're blogging yourself, even if it's just what you would normally put on social media, it's building and it's creating value for you. It's making you become the resource. It's making you be, I can't think of the word, but you're the expert, and so you're a resource and you're valuable in that way. So anyway, digression. I love blogging. I think it's awesome because you're building your own asset. Anyway, so how do you figure out what type of content that they're looking for? So what are they searching for? So what we do is we use Google Analytics, obviously, but then we also use the Google Keyword Planner. And I was going to go through an entire sort of tutorial as to how to use it and what to do and what to look for, but I figured out that you can't have a free account. So there are other tools. They're not as awesome. If you guys wanted to use the keyword tool, you can come over to my office and we can do it for you. But really you want to be looking at like keyword volume. You want to be looking at cost per click and competition. And so those three things are kind of what help you narrow down your valuable keywords. Cost per click is kind of a good shortcut because Google has already evaluated that keyword for you, sort of. And if they're saying this keyword is worth $50 a click, your head is going, maybe I should write about that keyword. So obviously when you're buying ads, you want to be careful about buying too many that are $50 a click because you'll run through your budget quickly. But as content marketers, you can go for those awesome keywords that have a lot of value attached to them because it's free. Blogs, but every blog post is a chance to score for that one keyword. And so it's no cost to you to go after awesome big keywords. A good way to also look at keywords that come up with a high volume is their competition. So it's how many people are competing to score for that word in an ad, which is interesting. So the keyword has a value of like 1. It means like nobody is looking for online colleges in Portland, Maine on Stevens Avenue. Like no one is looking for that. But if you're looking to score for the word designer, that goes through all sorts of different industries and stuff. That keyword competition is a 10. No, you're not going to score for that, even if you write 110 blog posts with the word designer only. You wouldn't get that anyway, but it's harder to score for those 10 level keywords than it is for the 1. But you also get almost no volume with a 1 level keyword. So it's kind of an art, it's kind of a science, and so it makes it easier if you use the keyword tool to be figuring that stuff out. And that's how we have Ivy that does our search marketing, and so she definitely is right in that space of like art and science of figuring out what keywords can we use that are highly searched for but also are not going to break the bank but are very relevant as well. So anyway, that's what you want to be creating content for, is that sort of art space in between there. So this is the tool that I was talking about that's free, and this was the best one that I could find. So you put in a keyword, like I did pharmacy schools, because I knew you guys would know. Well, thank you. So I did pharmacy schools, just to see if it was like a tough one to score for or not. And it comes up with, this is cool, because it comes up with keyword suggestions of like, maybe you want to be starting writing blogs about, or like creating content around pharmacy technician schools or top pharmacy schools. Stuff like that. It gives you your volume, and I think I cut it off, but this might be per month. So pharmacy technician schools is 3,600 searches per month, let's say, which is much higher than the pharmacy tech schools. So those to me sound really close. So it's just interesting and valuable to have that info of like, all right, it's worth me spending the extra 0.05 seconds to write out technician versus tech. It just gives you that much more of an edge of value. Cost per click, like I said, that's kind of a shortcut. And interestingly, these guys put cost per click for pharmacy tech schools at $25.58 a click, but then the higher volume pharmacy technician schools, they put it at $24.41. So who knows? It's the Google. And I have no idea what value means in this situation, so I would just ignore it. So yeah, SERP is search engine results page, which I always forget, so I figured I'd write it down. Yeah, so you want keywords that have a decent volume of people searching for that word or phrase. You want to pick keywords where you have a fighting chance. But also then you don't want to get lost in this. You don't want to just get bogged down. Because like I said, it is an art. You do want to be solving for the searcher, not the search engine. Because at the end of the day, it's people that are looking for your content. It's not Google. Google is going to be changing to accommodate for how people are searching, because they want to be presenting searchers with what they want to find. So if I want to find coffee shops on Stevens Avenue, Google is going to be looking for that for me, and it's going to use location-based stuff, and it's also going to be using, what's on the page there. So you want to be writing for how people are searching. So that's the art part of it, is figuring out, getting into those people's heads of like, what are they looking for? You use the keyword tool to figure that out somewhat, but also you use like your people around you and like I interview a lot of students and I listen to how they say things, which is awesome. I love talking to students, but it's neat to see like who they are, what their values are, or what they present to me their values are, and what words they choose to use, because that definitely influences how they found us and how other people will probably find us. So anyway, another thing about content is you want your content, and I'm really hoping you guys all blog because blogging rocks, but you want your content to be evergreen. And I know that like Twitter is so fleeting that there's no possible way to be evergreen in Twitter, in the Twitter space. I mean, nobody's saving a tweet except for like controversial ones that people take snapshots of. But it's very fleeting. It's very relationship driven. Facebook, you have to scroll down through the timeline. So it's more evergreen, but it's not really, unless people are really interested in digging deeper. Blogging, however, like we said, every page is a chance to score for that keyword. If you are going for the keyword like social work schools in Maine, try and write your content around something that's not like, well, this fall we did this, and on Saturday we had an event, and like those are great, those are valuable posts, but the stuff that really gets a lot of traction, that gets a lot of hits, and then actually has a really long tail of hits, is content that's evergreen, that just talks about, like one of our best posts is how to write a great recommendation letter. It's like, who knew? So like that's one of our best posts, because it's every school cycle. People are always interested, like, how do I write this recommendation letter? And so that's an evergreen thing. It's not connected to a season or an event or anything like that. And so how I got that, I was just looking around in my keywords, and I found that people were looking at, and that sort of recommendations, and I thought, well, that's an easy one to write. And so I wrote it, and it's killing it. So we talked about, using your popular keywords to just figure out new content to write. The other thing I like to do, which is kind of fun, is take a look at what other people are doing. So other online colleges. When we started our new health informatics program, I signed up to be a student at a lot of colleges just to see what their lead nurturing campaigns looked like. One of my things were in my job is I am in charge of lead nurturing, which is when someone comes into our website, fills out a form, they immediately get an autoresponder. Thank you so much for signing, for asking for more information. Here's some links to our website that you can see, and then they get on a schedule of like the next day we send them an email, hey, just wanted to say hi, wanted to reach out, wanted to just say, and here's a little bit more value. And then 3 days later, we send them another one, then 2 days, and then, so we send them a timed out list of emails, timed out groups of whatever, you know what I mean? The lead nurture them. So anyway, it's fun to see what they are writing in there. You know, like, hey, just a reminder, it's coming up to fall and it's time to engage. Those are more one-offs, but like, you can definitely tell the lead nurturing one of like, did you know that the University of Chicago does this or whatever. So anyway, that's a fun way to sort of like secret shop people and see what words they're using and what they think is valuable to go after in that space. Another thing to do is a white paper. You know, those are, I don't think I've ever written a white paper. I usually just throw them into a blog. But a white paper solves for a problem for people. Like if people are constantly asking, you know, for example, like how to write a good recommendation paper, a good recommendation for a student. Like you would just write up a document on like, these are the things we look for. This is maybe if you have a rubric, include that. You know, just write it up in a paper, saving it as a PDF, which you can then send out as an asset to people. That's a white paper. Like I said, I like to put them into blogs, but you can also create white papers that you attach to your Facebook accounts. You know, you can say, hey, did you see this? You know, and then people can download them, and that's another way to create value there. So, let's see. And then kind of in the end is analyze, rinse, repeat. Take a look at what you've done, take a look at what's, you know, getting traction, and do it again. I know it's hard. When I was in school, one of the stories that kind of resonated with me was there was a case study with Ford Motor Group, and they were launching this new ad campaign. It hadn't launched yet. They were working on it, and so they were about to launch it. It hadn't hit the public yet, and the president of Ford Motor was like, "All right, when are we getting a new ad campaign?" And the ad people were like, "We haven't even launched it yet," you know. So you're going to get sick of your message far before anyone is actually maybe even going to see it. So just keep going. You know, it's going to maybe be boring, but at least it's consistent. And, you know, you can find ways to dress it up, but you have your main message. You have what you want to get out of these people by providing these contents. So just keep hammering at it. Let's see. Yeah, so you want to be providing content that offers useful information that connects your audience to UNE so that they keep coming back to us and keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back. So, in conclusion, it's not rocket science, as we all know, but it is hard work. Yeah?
So I have a couple questions. How regularly would you blog post?
Right now I do once a week, and my instructional design department does once a week, so we have 2 going out a week. Mm-hmm. I'd like to get it up to at least 3. Mm-hmm. It's, for me anyway, it's time consuming, and I'm also running the social media and the lead nurturing, and I just passed off the website to another person, so I now have that time freeing up. But yeah, 3 would be awesome.
And then I had a question about the UNE logo or brand being out there. How does that work as far as how you have to okay your content with UNE? So let's say I wanted to start an MSW blog. Do I have to like work closely with communications, or are you free to, how does that work?
Ours came through our dean, so Martha Wilson. I guess I would work through your supervisor and your dean. Mm-hmm. And then I think Louise just likes to see what's going out there. Mm-hmm. But is, you know, and just she'll help you. She's in the communications office over. And she'll help you get it branded correctly if you need to. We have a designer, Laura Duffy. Mm-hmm. She's amazing. So I guess that would be my chain of command there. I would go through your leadership and then just kind of run it past. I mean, Louise is the nicest, sweetest person in the whole world, because she only would like what's best for you and the college. So she would just, if it's not branded right, she would just help you
Yeah.
with that. That's it. Any other questions? I guess I would just like, you know, if you ever need anything, like Louise, hopefully, God bless her, I don't know where she is, but she's always around as a resource. I'm always around as a resource. I'm right next to Starbucks, so just saying. There you go.
Product placement.
There you go. But yeah, if you ever needed anything.
May I
Yes.
offer Dune Digital UNE, the repository, which is based out of the library. If anybody writes white papers, it's a great place to host those, because then rather than just living on your computer or even the UNE server, it can go out more widely to the world. And there is a way, and I'm in charge of that, Bethany Kenyon in the library. So in case you do write a white paper, you can link out or send people to the link where it would permanently live as an archive. And you'd be getting out to even more people because it is search engine optimized than potentially your blog post or social media post. So I can help you. And white papers are incredibly helpful and pretty awesome. So if you do end up doing that, think of me too.
Nice.
What do
Yes.
you use for your blog platform?
WordPress.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just the free version, or?
We don't. We are super spoiled, and we have a developer,
Okay.
and so she put it together. It's just the theme was $60 on Theme Monster or something like that.
It's
And
like
we
a
did.
monthly,
It's a what?
the $60, is it like a monthly?
Oh, no, it's just a
it's just flat
one-time,
rate,
yeah.
60.
No. And so yeah, she just installed it for us and did a little bit of customization because we have a form on there to be able to get leads and convert those. But it's minimal, and I know we have developers on staff here, so if you needed
Yeah.
help or questions. But definitely like a free WordPress account is an amazing place to start.
Mhm.
Or even something hosted by the university.
Mhm.
We get in touch with I don't know, maybe get in touch with Louise and see
Yeah.
what there are for assets there. Because you'd hate to reinvent the wheel,
Right.
you know? We're all on the same team.
Yeah, we had real bad luck with our blog.
Did
It
you?
looked terrible.
Mm.
It was hosted by UNE, it was part of the website, but it looked so bad that we were
Not proud of it, not wanting to drive people to it.
People to
Yeah.
it. So we switched over to using Tumblr, but it's not ideal.
Yeah, you're sewing into
Yeah.
someone else's
I
assets.
was
It's just
curious
difficult.
about what the platform was,
Maybe worth just grabbing a budget, you know, like putting it in for a budget line item. It's not that. I mean, I think it took our developer maybe 10 hours to modify the theme that we chose. And it was $60 for the theme. So, I mean, it wouldn't be a huge budget line item. And to be able to build your own asset, I think is a huge value. I mean, if you need to fight for that, I would come over and write it up with you. I really, really believe strongly in building your own assets.
but yeah, I mean, because we've got content, we just,
Yeah.
we're sort of stuck, like, where to put it, I
Right,
guess.
and a blog is searchable, you can put tags on there if someone is interested in looking at, you know, Louisa May Alcott's personal writings, pictures of it, like, you can have a tag for that, or even a whole category for that. Come up with every blog post that you ever did. Whereas Facebook, it's difficult because you have to scroll down, you have to know, right, I did that like last August and it was around the 15th, you know? So blogs are awesome for that. And we have budgets, we just have to plan.
So then if you have multiple pages, so you have your blog page and then you also probably have like Twitter and Facebook, and you said that your blog is kind of your central hub, and then you kind of point people like from your blog like to your Facebook and to your Twitter and things like, yeah, can you like,
Oh,
or can we search is it easy to find your blog?
yeah, so the blog is vision.une.edu. And what I do, sort of my strategy, my overall, to get people to come and see us and sign up as students, is I write a blog post, and that's my content, that's my value. And then I post on Twitter, sort of teasers to come and see our blog posts, or on Facebook, I'll do a blurb and then a link, or a blurb and an image actually I found works better. For some reason, people don't click on links as much if you just, oddly enough, it works better if you do a blurb with a link in it and then an image. Those get about 5 times more clicks than a blurb with just a link with an image. I don't know why, but that's my like analytics that are, yeah. So that's what I do. I point the Twitter, I point the Facebook to the blog. And yeah, those are our 2 that we focus on. I would love to start an Instagram, but I'm a terrible photographer, like awful. So, and plus online people, you know, I guess it's valuable to show them that we do have a gorgeous campus, but it's harder to think of something fresh content every day. And I don't want to put just junk, you know, because people are coming to you for value, so you don't want to just kind of throw things against the wall and see what sticks. You really want to figure out like your theme. So if I were to start an Instagram, I would be maybe choosing to show the trees of campus or something, you know, like pick a theme and go for that. I don't know. Or like main women's writers, I know you post a lot of like old pictures.
It's the blog stuff.
Yeah.
Our stuff is very visual, very Instagram friendly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of easy for us.
Yeah, you guys do an awesome job.
Thanks.
I just, because it's valuable. You know it's going to be there. You know if you want to look at people like playing soccer from 1910, you can find that. You know, so that's cool. You know, any other questions, comments? Cool. Well, thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And hopefully the video camera works, right? So I will this time have a video to send out if you guys wanted to. And I can send you this if you would like it. I did spend a lot of time on it.